Hey everyone, Jordan here with 9 to 5 Toys, and today we're taking a look at the new GoPro HERO9 Black. It's bigger, packs a bigger battery, has higher resolution, more shooting modes, and a couple of really handy features to make your footage super smooth with HyperSmooth 3.0 and a linear horizon leveling mode as well. So let's check it out. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. That's right, the lovable action cam is back again with some cool new features to make it even more desirable to creators. Shooting up to 5K resolution or shooting up to 240 frames per second at 1080p. And one of the biggest differences here is the addition of a front-facing screen so that if you are doing a kind of selfie kind of shot, you can frame it up and make sure that you're actually shooting what you want. So first off, let's go over the body and design here. Obviously on top, we have the record button, which doesn't stray too far from previous years. On front, we have the lens over here, which is removable, and you can mod it out with one of GoPro's additional mods. And we also have the front-facing screen, as well as a microphone here on the front. On the left side, we have the mode button, also with the large 9 Black to let you know what model you're shooting on. And on the right side, we have the cover for the battery, SD card slot, and the USB-C port for charging or connecting to a computer. Another great feature that we saw with the Hero 8 is that the mount is actually built in to the bottom of the camera. So this makes it super simple to get this set up, and it's just another kind of all-in-one kind of design where you don't need another external cage to mount it to anything. The camera is waterproof by itself. You don't have to put it in a waterproof housing, and it just makes this very simple and ready to go pretty much no matter what situation you're in. And of course on the back, we have the large touchscreen. So turn it on real quick here, and we'll dive into that a little bit more here in a minute, but it's really easy to see what you're shooting and also very easy to make any changes to the settings. Another great thing about the HERO9 Black is that it comes with a reusable case. So not only do you have something you can use to actually store your GoPro in right out of the box, but you also don't have to throw away all the plastic and packaging that they usually come in. Along with the new features though, it still has, all the great features that GoPros are known for. So waterproof up to 33 feet without any extra external housing. And price-wise, it comes in right where you would expect a new black model GoPro to come in at $450. So now let's dive into some of the new features. HyperSmooth has debuted on some other GoPro cameras. This isn't new, but the HyperSmooth 3.0, which came out with the 9, it just makes it even better than before. I was able to just flat out sprint, just holding the camera in my hand, and it will still deliver a smooth, usable video. It's pretty insane. Match that with the 4K 60, 2.7 120, or 1080p 240 frames per second, and it is incredibly easy to get very smooth video with the GoPro HERO9 Black. I had a blast just chasing my kids around the park with it and seeing what kind of cool shots we could get in slow motion, and also going on bike rides and motorcycle rides to check this out. And even when having the camera hard mounted to the handlebars of my bicycle and going over gravel, the HERO9 and HyperSmooth did a really good job of taking out all of those bumps and jitters that would probably be noticeable in pretty much any other camera. Another one of the main features here obviously is that front-facing screen. So we'll turn it on real quick so you can see that, and there are ways to disable that front screen if you want to save on battery and don't want the front screen on. But what it does here, you can see it's a square, so it doesn't show the full 16:9 aspect ratio, but that gives you a really easy way when you are shooting to see what you have framed up and make sure that you're actually shooting and framing what you want. It also gives you readouts for how much battery you have left, how much time recording you have left, and what video mode you're in. Now, it's not as high quality of a screen as what's on the back. There's a little bit of lag, a little bit of latency, and it's a little bit slower FPS on there as well, but it is perfect for just making sure that you're framing up what you want. In previous models, to really make sure you're shooting what you actually wanted and had it pointing the right way, you have to connect via your phone and check it out with that video feed on there, which isn't a huge deal, and you can still do that on here as well, but it's also a lot easier just to do it on the front-facing screen. Even when having it on a chest mount and having it upside down when I was riding a bicycle, I could just quickly look down and take a look at that front screen and make sure that it had the horizon pretty much where I wanted it. Speaking of horizon though, the GoPro HERO9 Black also has auto horizon leveling as one of its modes. So it's kind of an enhancement on the linear mode, which takes out kind of that fisheye effect that a lot of GoPro footage will have when it's set on a wide view. If you have the HERO9 Black set to linear, you can take that one step further and go to linear horizon leveling. And so whenever you're turning and tilting the camera, it's going to keep your horizon level so it doesn't look like the camera's turning. So this is really huge for, if you're riding on a motorcycle and leaning into turns but want to keep it level, or if you're on the ski slopes and doing some, intense turning and just want to make sure that the camera has a level view to it. This makes the footage a lot easier to watch afterwards. All right, so now looking at all the different video specs that this can do, obviously the top of the line resolution is 5K, and it can shoot in pretty much all of the different lens modes. So it can shoot in wide, it can shoot in linear, and it'll shoot at both 30 or 24 frames per second at that 5K. You step it down to 4K and you can go up to 60 frames per second, so you can get a little bit of slow-mo in there if you want, with still getting some really crisp resolution. And then stepping it down to 2.7 is where you can start to get into 120 frames per second, so some really smooth footage if you want it. And then stepping all the way down to 1080, you can shoot at 240 frames per second, so that can give you some very slow motion footage if you want to do that. I will say though that 1080p definitely starts to show its age with the GoPro Hero 9 when I have the footage blown up on my monitor. It definitely starts to look a little mushy and compressed. But when viewed on a smaller screen or in a smaller window, which is how I think most people are actually viewing media these days, it looks totally fine and is pretty incredible with that slow motion. I'm a huge fan of the touchscreen on the back of the GoPro. That just makes using this thing so much easier. All the functionality that you used to be able to do in past models from your phone, you can do just right on the back here. You can change all the settings, set everything up, change all your modes, and frame up your shot if you want. I found the touchscreen to be very responsive and also very clearly labeled to find all those different settings. I also found the microphone to perform really well on the Hero 9. It does have the ability to plug in an external microphone via 3.5mm input with a couple different adapters you can get. I think one is a mod and one is an adapter. But the built-in microphone is actually pretty impressive, even when going high speeds. I was riding my motorcycle at like 50 miles an hour and could barely get any wind noise on this thing. So I think that's pretty impressive. And obviously it's made for that kind of action, being a GoPro action camera. So like we mentioned, the battery is bigger on the Hero 9 Black, but it also is a little bit more power hungry with that front-facing screen as well. So you're still going to need, at least 2 batteries for all-day shooting. But if you're just doing occasional shooting here and there, you'll probably be fine with the one internal. And it's also pretty simple to keep an external, little battery pack and to keep this thing topped off throughout the day if you aren't using it constantly. With the Hero 9, the battery size is up from 1220 to 1720 milliamp hours. So overall, the GoPro Hero 9 Black is a really great camera for the price and for the size. HyperSmooth 3.0 makes footage extremely stable. The front-facing screen is great for helping to make sure your framing is right where you want it, and the boost in resolution is, of course, a welcomed upgrade as well. Do you need to upgrade from a Hero 8? Well, that's up to you. Is the little bit smoother footage better? Is the front-facing screen, if you do a lot of selfie stuff, is that something that you really need? But if you haven't upgraded your GoPro camera in a few generations, or have never even purchased a GoPro camera, this is a really incredible, very easy to use, very versatile camera for the price. I'm just always amazed at how easy it is to just turn on this camera, start recording, and get some good footage without really any fuss at all. Well, that'll wrap it up for our review of the GoPro Hero 9 Black. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9to5 Toys.